Welcome back to my channel. About 2 weeks ago, I released a video where I walked around my event venue when I was doing my Heart Behind Hustle live event, and I talked about how much the entire event actually costs. And once I posted it, a lot of people were actually quite surprised, thinking that I would have been able to offset the costs or that I was able to get really awesome deals and that I made money on the event. So in this video, I wanted to clear things up and share with you how you can make money hosting events in your business and how we were able to mainly or mostly offset the costs of running the event. So everything that you saw in that video, about, I would say 80% of that cost was actually covered before the event even happened. And then of course we were able to walk away after the event quite profitable as well. But I want to share with you what you need to understand and how you can actually make money, because most people that run events in their business end up getting broke and not even being close to breaking even after the event has happened. And I see this all the time. But before we get started, I'm curious to hear if you could leave a comment below and let me know, what do you think is the main way to make money from running events? There's a lot of different ways to make money from events. I'm going to share with you a couple of the most common things. Go ahead and pop it below and then we'll see if you were right. Now, I do want to mention a couple things. There are different types of events that you can run in your business, and each of them have a different earning potential for you as well. So if you are, for example, doing a really small and intimate workshop where you don't have a lot of expenses, it's obviously going to be a lot easier for you to actually break even and make a profit, versus if you're running a beautiful, luxurious retreat where people are staying with you and you're, catering food or having a private chef and then not selling anything at the event. Obviously it's going to be a little bit harder for you to break even. And a lot of people actually that run retreats, when they don't know how to run retreats effectively, end up losing a little bit of money, and maybe some of them break even. Maybe some people make money, but typically if you don't have the strategy and the structure, a lot of people end up just breaking even or losing money, which is not what we want for you, because you're a smart entrepreneur, right? The first thing I want you to think about when it comes to hosting events in your business to actually make money, you want to make sure that you're setting everything up to actually break even or get as close to breaking even as possible before the event even starts. And then from there, thinking about, what am I actually doing to be profitable with the event? There are actually 5 main ways that you can make money from hosting events in your business. The main way that most people think you can make money from hosting events is to sell tickets to the events. Now, the problem that happens is that most entrepreneurs, most coaches and healers end up charging very little to join their events. I mean, anywhere from $5, $10, $20. Now, if it's a really inexpensive event, obviously it's a lot easier, or if your costs are like very low, obviously it's going to be a lot easier. But we're talking about doing a bigger event in your business right now. We're talking about doing an event that is actually potentially going to lead to lots of sales for you, or creating a lot of brand building credibility for you and your brand. Definitely selling tickets is a great option. You can have a sales page that you've created maybe on something like ClickFunnels. Now, of course, you can also put your event up on Eventbrite or Facebook and things like that. But the thing is, a lot of people are selling the event as an event, and they're not really selling it as an experience, which is why most people are not charging enough for their event tickets. So if you're doing a bigger event or you're doing it at a nicer venue, you want to make sure that you're charging the right prices so that it makes sense that you're going to be able to actually make the money, or at least break even. Now, that's not to say that you are always going to be able to break even with your event from just hosting tickets. In fact, we weren't able to do that with just hosting tickets, because our event costs, all of them, were almost $9,000. And we would have had to charge quite a bit of money for our attendees to come in order to break even. And that just wasn't the vision that I had for this particular event. So what did we have to do? We had to get sponsors. So that is the second big thing that you can do for your event. If you are not able to break even from just selling event tickets, you're going to have to get creative. And one of the best ways to bring quite a bit of money into your event so that you can cover the cost of the venue or food or anything else that is involved in you hosting the event, bringing sponsors. So we were able to bring in a couple of sponsors that allowed us to offset some of the other costs of running the event, which made it a lot easier. So you can have things like actual paid speakers getting on stage and selling their products, or you can have physical products or you can have softwares. There's a lot of different ways for you to approach this. You can also partner with banks or just big organizations where you can have like a big featured presenting sponsor. I'm not going to get into all the details about getting sponsors here, but getting a few amazing sponsors is a great way for you to offset the cost of actually putting on the event. So you can get several sponsors all focusing on different areas that are not competing, and you can potentially go into the event not having spent any of your own money at all. But that is not the only thing you can do to offset the cost. There's actually something else that I like to do to offset the cost that you might not be thinking of, because it's not directly tied to the event itself. So this is something one of my former business coaches taught me, and I just loved it. So you might not think this is related to the event at all, and it's technically not, but I like to do very specific flash sales or offer services or programs or whatever to specifically bring money in before the event happens so I can use that money towards the event. So while yes, it's not technically selling the event and I'm not necessarily talking about the event exactly, but I'm doing it because I want to bring in the money for the event. You can potentially have it be related to the event where maybe you're selling something before the event happens to the attendees. If you have enough of them, you could potentially have it be a part of an upsell, like a sales funnel and things like that. But honestly, I don't even get all fancy with it. I just create very specific flash sales or super no-brainer offers that are typically, have been proven to get me anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000, and I just sell them to my audience, and I'm able to bring in an extra few $1,000s that I'm able to use towards offsetting the cost of putting on the event. So I'm just doing it with that exact purpose. All right, so all these things are hopefully helping you to offset the cost of putting on the event. So now, let's say you're doing the event, it's live, and this is what has the potential to bring you the most money. This is how you make the money from hosting events, is you sell something at the event. It's pretty simple. You have a captive audience, or I like to call them a captivated audience because you're doing such a great job, right? And they love you, they're super into it, they're like engaging, and as long as you're doing things in an authentic, aligned way, it's a natural next step to offer them more support or offer them some kind of a next level program. So being able to offer them a service or a program or a product that makes the most sense, it's a congruent and aligned offer, that is how most people make money from hosting events. If you have 100 people in a room together, you're offering them a $5,000 or a $10,000 package, there's gonna be a percentage of people that say yes to that offer. And being able to sell in person, this is one of the best ways to sell because you have so much rapport built up that people really trust you. They like you. They see whether they like you or not. If they don't like you, they would have left already. A lot of people like to think of doing events as one big sales call. My recommendation is not to be super sleazy or manipulative or any of that. I'm not into any of those things, but being able to offer a really amazing congruent price point offer that makes sense for your people is a great option that has the potential to bring you even 6 figures in your business. This is how one of my clients, Amber Annette, was able to make 6 figures in one day. And that one day was the event day, the pitch day of her event. She brought, it was I think 75 people into a room. She offered them a specific program. There were 3 different levels of this program, and she was able to make 6 figures in that one day. But there is one more way that you can make money from your event. So let's say that you're doing it. Some people took you up on this offer, others didn't. You can still make some extra money, and that is by offering affiliate offers. So if you got your sponsors, great, they paid you the money to be a sponsor, but then you can also source other companies that you can affiliate for and potentially make money from people signing up for these other products. So maybe you are part of an MLM, or maybe you are an affiliate for a different program or product or a membership site or a software or something like that. You can have a resources sheet that you send out to people that allows them to then sign up for this particular resource, and there you go. You're able to make a little bit of extra money. It's not going to be any gigantic amount, definitely not compared to that previous, main offer that you would invite people into at your event. But it's a great way to add just even a couple of $100 or even $1,000 or $2,000, depending on how big your event is, into your bottom line, so that you still are able to serve your people because, hey, this is a great service, this is a great product. It's not mine, but I will get a little bit of commission, and you don't even have to deliver on that service, which is really, really cool. So those are the 5 ways that you can make money from hosting your own events. So I am curious if you were right. Did you guess correctly? I know. Some of you guys are probably just watching and you're like, I'm not gonna say in case I didn't know. And I don't know. Anyways, if you like this video, if you were right, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And even if you were wrong, go ahead and do that, because that's what we're doing here, and I would really appreciate it, so we can get more of this awesome, aligned marketing wisdom into the world of more entrepreneurs, because we all know there's so much weird, skeezy stuff out there. We need to really change things up a little bit, right? Wouldn't you agree? With all else said, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.